Hi, I'm Kresta. And do you remember the massacre at the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo? It was only last January 7th, believe it or not. 11 people were murdered, 11 injured, by Muslim terrorists associated with Al-Qaeda in Yemen. Now, there were another 4 murders that occurred shortly after at a Jewish deli. But the motive of the attackers was absolutely clear. How do we know it? Because the terrorists told us. They were compelled by the Sharia to exact vengeance on the Charlie Hebdo staff because they had published cartoons of Muhammad, which is blasphemy in Islam and deserves death. Now, of course, blasphemy in France doesn't even get you removed from the archdiocesan guest list. Even high officials like Cardinal Scola have called for the elimination of anti-blasphemy laws. So the culture shock was extreme, and especially tragic since it was drenched in blood. At the time, many people expressed solidarity with Charlie Hebdo. They were defiantly wearing t-shirts or hoisting signs that read, "I am Charlie," or "I am Charlie Hebdo." And many found meaning and comfort in the brutal murders by hailing the journalists as martyrs in the international battle for human dignity and the right of free speech. But now, barely 6 months after their death, the German magazine Stern reports that the current editor of Charlie Hebdo says that the magazine will no longer draw comics of Muhammad. Quote, "We've done our job. We have defended the right to caricature, and we still believe we have the right to criticize all religions." End quote. He added that he did not want people to believe that the magazine was possessed by Islam. Quote, "The mistakes you could blame Islam for can be found in other religions." End quote. Well, no. Not in the modern world. When Jesus is lampooned in Charlie Hebdo, nobody fears they're going to get murdered. In fact, Christianity knows that insult goes with the territory. Jesus himself did his work by being insulted and was himself accused of blasphemy. In stark contrast, Islam has a warrior prophet who has to win and can't stand to be dishonored. From the editor of Charlie Hebdo to dishonor the deaths of his former employees is itself tragic. They were murdered not by Hindus or Buddhists or Catholics or Protestants, and whatever faults such religious groups presently embody, calling for the death of those who insult their leaders is not one of them. When it comes to terrorism, not all religions are equal. That the editor of Charlie Hebdo doesn't get the difference shows why his cartoonists had to die. They died because left-wing intellectuals like this editor can't perceive that the danger of insulting Muhammad is qualitatively different than insulting Buddha or Krishna or Jesus. His journalists didn't die because of some abstract religious violence. They died because particular terrorists, motivated by a particular religion, showed that that religion, Islam, is intolerant of criticism, barbaric in its penalties, and presently incompatible with a society that treasures ordered liberty. The editor of Charlie Hebdo, by saying he will no longer mock Muhammad's brutal career, essentially gives the terrorists a victory. And that's tragic. I'm Kresta. Always good to hear from you. Thanks.